Alright, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Today we're going to have two battles for you. I'm going to try and defend a castle that's under siege, and then we will also attack a city that's being... we will attack a city that the enemy took up in the north. Just a quick update on my campaign for those following. We are being hemmed in pretty thick here, and they took Varcheg, which is one of our critical castles to the north. So I'm going to have to siege what is probably a very large Aserai force in Varcheg, and also defend this castle on the way up there. For those who don't know, this channel is dedicated to helping people improve their tactics in Bannerlord through the use of field command. And I'm filming these episodes live, and sometimes this is going to happen. We're going to go ahead and shift on the fly. I've got a castle that's close to me that's suddenly under siege. We're gonna go ahead and take care of business here, and then we'll head north and handle that castle and retake that city. So, in this episode, we are going to go ahead and defend this castle down here against whatever army size is there. Okay, change plans number 3. We are going to 3,900, almost 4,000. We are going to fight a huge fucking battle against two armies that look like they're walking down the marriage aisle holding hands. I don't know if they're heading for the same target to siege or what. But we're going to have to go ahead and handle this.
Handle us. You'll handle us. You know your predecessors had much more respect.
We'll recruit some last-minute prisoners here. Most of our forces look like they're at 100%. This is happening more and more as I'm fighting 7 kingdoms. It's not uncommon for me to see two armies either near each other or actually attacking the same target. Let's see if they're... No, now they're clearly coming to attack me. Alright, well, we got ourselves a big battle here instead. So, Volios wants to fight today. Great, so do we. We're going to use normal player damage. I've been doing that for a little while just to request a lot of viewers. I'm worried that someday that'll make a great fight. Something that I can't show folks because I'll be dropped and laying in the dirt. Oh, this is interesting. A town battle. We're fighting in a town because we were close enough to it when we were attacked. So they're giving us this battlefield. Normally I hate fighting in towns, but this town has a bunch of these little open garden areas that you can just barely make it out. They have little fences. They look like little bamboo fences around them, you know, ostensibly to keep out, I don't know what it would keep out. It wouldn't keep anything out, deer or anything. But in Bannerlord, it keeps out a 1,300-pound warhorse, right? You can't get through these fucking fences. So it acts like an iron bar, which works beautifully for our range-based army here. So I'm setting the 3rd Cavalry on the right flank. They're guarding the 5th Archers. That's the only archer division that's not in a pen, so to speak. I have no infantry. Let's see. This 2nd Cavalry, I'm probably going to dismount them and turn them into infantry. I literally have 1 infantry in my 1st division. And we've got 1 archer division kind of set back as a reserve. My skirmishers are in this center pen that's sort of shaped like a heart. Yeah! And the 8th Corps is with them as well. We're going to be holding fire here and kind of see what happens with the enemy. I'm going to dismount. In fact, I may not mount a horse this whole battle. Horses do terribly. You see these little bamboo fences? Well, the fucking enemy can't get through that, right? Like, somehow that stops a 1,300-pound warhorse. You can't jump over it. You know, so all stupidity aside, we're actually going to use this. I see some of them are down. Like, they should be a breakable item. Like, when Bannerlord gets, you know, more developed, it'll probably be something you can break and just kick over. But in the short term, here we go. We got an iron wall. That's a huge wave of cavalry. But they can't get in, right? Well, that's all horse archers. Open fire, boys! These stupid assholes just walked into a death trap. Yeah, look at that fucking death spam. I mean, they flanked themselves. They literally walked right... Look how fast they're running out of here. They walked right in to 120 archers that just open fire, and of course they can't reach them, and they have no maneuverability. I got these openings here. They have no maneuverability, of course, because of all the fences and these narrow sort of pathways. This landscape, something like out of The Hobbit or something like that. Well, so much for that wave. They got fucking immolated. Look at all the javelins on the ground. I'll be using some of these at some point. So my plan is effectively we're going to try to jam up these openings, right? If and when their infantry or cavalry find their way into these areas, it's going to be a problem, right? We're outnumbered at least 2 to 1. So we're going to take this dismounted cavalry and stick them right there. I actually kind of fumbled that. The 2nd cavalry was standing there and I dismounted them, but I might have even done that had I not even done it by accident. Look at their horses are jamming up that access over there. I've done that intentionally in the past. That was an accident. You know, sometimes you just fat finger a key, but it works beautifully because now I have this phalanx of high-ranked troops guarding this entry. Right, I can just use them as a protective shield. Their cavalry doesn't know what to do with them except die. And I have their horses kind of blocking up the other entrance. Damn, that guy took a heavy fucking blow. Ooh, look at that big bag of javelins. Look at that shit. I can't fucking... Oh, shit. We get fucking trampled by cavalry. Sometimes I get killed trying to pick up javelins from the ground. There's a financial saying that relates to bonds and stocks, and that is, don't pick up steamroller, or don't pick up pennies in front of the steamroller, right? Sometimes it's not worth it to try to do something like that. Alright, so look at their cavalry are still over there milling about, holding that other side. Their archers have no chance. Their horse archers are just coming in here. That's mostly the death span. They are just being obliterated down here. As long as, you know, they're confined, they just have absolutely no chance. So another thing I didn't tell you, I'm dragging my 1st Corps. My entire 1st Infantry Corps is following me around like a bodyguard. And if you can't pick it up, that is sarcasm. There's one guy in my 1st infantry. So I have this companion. I think this is Varag, is his name. He's like an uncle of mine, and he's a fucking savage. He has a huge battle axe. He moves fast. He's got good armor. Him and I are going to be buddies for this battle.
Everyone hold fire!
So we'll hold fire. The other thing that's nice about all these javelins is Varag will pick up javelins too. He's a javelin thrower just like me. In fact, his character build is almost identical to mine. Alright, so we've got that side penned up, because eventually eventually the enemy's going to send infantry. A lot of times in battles lately, they have been playing really passive. It's almost like our army's reputation precedes us. Now here they come. Alright, so we've got... Alright, so the cavalry finally cleared out over there, the ones that were dismounted. I've got 2 openings to deal with, but they're not getting through that main one. And a lot of their troops are coming right for that main one. Well, look at this, just a javelin massacre. Here comes some guys towards this one. So we're mostly defending these open ones, right? And look at the assault. Our skirmishers are there. Look at Varag flying there with his axe. Right? It's basically 2 of my character running around on the field. You would not want to face that. Look at him with his axe. His axe, I think, is bigger than mine. It's slower, but he still swings it plenty fast. Look at these guys. They're all penned up. They're just fucking mincemeat for our axe. We're not letting cavalry get in here, at least not without a fight. Got a couple other companions that are right here. They're part of the 6 skirmishers. Let's pick these guys off. These guys are jammed up on our phalanx. Ooh, I took a blow there. Gotta be careful. With that, you know, maximum player damage, or not maximum, but normal player damage, you know, you take 2 or 3 big shots with the glaive and you're dead. So I gotta be a little more careful. So these guys are just dead. They're mauled. Look at Varag's in there swinging his fucking axe. They're all jammed up on our phalanx. I mean, they might as well have tried to take hell right there. They're sending in heavy cavalry. That's not a problem. Honestly, as long as the enemy's attacking us, we're in good shape. My 8th infantry got a little carried away there. I brought them up to handle that wave. We'll bring back this second cavalry. I want to call them 2nd cavalry, but what they are, of course, now is their 2nd infantry. They're no longer on horse. You can tell them to get back on a horse, but unless the horses are right there, they'll kind of wander around feebly. It's not a really good idea. These guys are just coming here. I mean, the more they attack that side, like the better. It's going to be a massacre. They have no chance, at least not without a sustained infantry wave of pushing through them. Cavalry aren't making it through. Look at Baron in here with his axe. Fuck them up, buddy. Sometimes I'll do this with a larger unit and have them follow me. You've seen it do it with my entire 8th Corps if I'm pushing in on the enemy. But in this case, he's literally just, he's tandemed to my side. We're like a WWE wrestler with a tag team partner. Right? Him and I are just going to be wailing away at the enemy together for this battle. And this battle at this stage, it kind of resembles a siege defense, right? Like we have very defined areas that we have troops and plans to define those areas, right? This 6 skirmishers that's right behind me, they're sort of the contingency plan. If the enemy pours up to those fence openings, they'll get sent in to charge, right? And the enemy then is facing very high-level troops. Meanwhile, at range, they're throwing javelins. I've got a lot of guys in there that are shooting bows. You can see there's some Battanian Fian champs. It's a very daunting approach for the enemy. On this flank, I have that 3rd Cavalry. They're strictly playing defense. You haven't seen me move the 3rd Cavalry at all the whole battle. Right? The 2nd Cavalry I dismounted. In this instance, again, they're going to play defense, but they're moving up because we're going to try to use our archers here to get a little enfilade attack on the main group of the enemy. The enemy is now hemmed up. They've decided that they're afraid. They're chicken shit. They outnumber us 2 to 1 or more, but they're the ones that are going to sit back. That's fine. We're going to try to take advantage of that. So I've got the 3rd Cavalry out in front. They're in shield wall. I might have waited a second. I don't need to deal with a bunch of cavalry running through my archers. I'm going to try to set up my 4th and 5th archers, though, in groups right here on this knoll and tell them to unleash hell on the enemy main body of enemy troops over there. Why the fuck are these guys walking so slow? You guys need a rock star or something? Get up here. So the idea essentially is that cavalry division in the front, they absorb a lot of the arrows, they absorb a lot of the attackers that might be coming to try to stop us from pulling off this tactic. Right now I'm having problems with this cavalry that's in here. I should have waited until this cavalry wave is over. Sometimes the game is all about timing. I'm usually quite precise, but it did have the effect we wanted because here comes their troops, and that's ultimately what we wanted. We wanted bait. They did end up killing quite a few guys. But we want the enemy attacking us in this death trap down here. We're going to call this Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. We're going to call this Field of Death for the enemy. Now we're bringing all these elite archers. There's got to be 50 Battanian Fian champs in here mixed in with all the companions. This is a nasty... I mean, no one would want to attack this in real life. So this enemy wave comes in, open fire, and look at the fucking death span. I wonder if I can hit these guys over the fence. Oh, fuck yeah, you can. We can behead guys right over the fence. So look at, they've still got that jammed up. Varag is still dutifully following me. They're breaking a hole over on this side. That's alright, we'll pour in. I'll move up some cavalry there to try to block that wall. That guy got obliterated. He got like 15 projectiles. They're starting to jam through a little bit over here, and again, this is where you'll see me attack with the 6th Corps, 8th Corps. That cavalry division wasn't going to hold out forever. Right, guys in shield wall are really strong, they're really tough, but they can still be killed. So this opening is starting to dam open. This is where we'll bring these guys in. I'm not doing it too recklessly. I just lost one of my top companions. I don't want to send them in too recklessly, though. I want to wait until the moment feels right. And that moment is clearly right now. So in we go. They get told to charge. And I've fought many battles. When I tell them to charge, these guys mean it, right? Look at them coming in foaming at the fucking mouth. They're high level. There's Battanian Fian champs whipping out their broadswords. And look how quickly that breach is jammed up, right? They're charging the other entrances too. We give these guys some support. And yeah, they're not making it in. The horses are dying. People are being steamrolled. These fucks are in for a nightmare. They're trying to send archers in here. I mean, you guys might as well, like I said, you might as well try to take hell. You're not getting in. Alright, it's time to get aggressive on these. A lot of these archers are tier 4, tier 3. Tier 2, no, they're still tier 4, tier 3. So they still have good archers, but you'll find if you have good athleticism, you can just wade through here. You can pull troops behind you. I've got Varag still following me. And look at the carnage I cause, right? These guys have very, no shields and fairly weak armor. A lot of them are wearing like fucking pajamas, like they're going to a spa. You just barrel in there, You got to have high athletics to do that, as I'm sure any of you have tried that and with low athletics and found out. You'll just get hammered. Your back will get hit over and over again. But if you have high athletics and a good feel for ground combat, I mean, you can just destroy archers. But you got to get in, right? That's the key. Don't approach them at 80 yards or 50 yards. If they're right in your face, though, send some troops in to support you and then just barrel right in. So we're moving up. I'm sensing the momentum change in this battle. They have a huge amount of cavalry in this open area here that I'm going to have to deal with. Fortunately, like Gregor, this character's dad, literally had an axe that I named like the Norse word for a horse killer, because it just obliterates. It's a very fast, it's a short axe, so you have to be close. But once your timing and accuracy are down, you absolutely lay waste to horses. Oh, fuck. I gotta be careful. You know, I'm getting stabbed in the face. Sometimes I get a little bit overzealous. I am getting better at playing with normal player damage. It's difficult in a battle like this, right? Like, at first I was resistant to do it just because you're fighting against 4,000 troops. This is a half-hour battle plus. It's very difficult to not have some arrows hit you, to not have some cavalry damage hit you. But I'm getting better the more I try. It's horse killing time. In fact, I'm just going to let the music run for a second while I fucking destroy their entire cavalry here. Well, that was a lot of cavalry, but they've now all moved on to cavalry heaven. Although I guess my guys tell him, "See you in hell." He's not real thrilled about it. So we're facing a huge archery line here. They don't have many infantry in front of them. You will learn the longer you play. You might already know, oh shit, these guys went the wrong way. Sometimes the forward command is not good for archers. You will learn that in moments like this, when the battle momentum is changing, that the appropriate tactic is in a very aggressive charge. I have a lot of high-level units still. I'm going to physically send them into the enemy's body here, into the enemy mass. Napoleon has a favorite quote that said, I think it goes, in war there is but one favorable moment. The great art is to seize it. Right? In this case, that's what we're doing. The enemy's reeling. They have weak troops. They're still regrouping. I don't want them to get a big archery line set up. I don't want them to start having their tactical situation improved. And so we fly in aggressively. I have level 4, level 5, even some level 6 troops. And we just are going to try to brute force our way and keep a momentum crush here on the enemy. I mean, this is a tactic, right? This is blitzkrieg, right? The Germans perfected blitzkrieg in the 1940s. It's where you come in ferociously with all of your units in conjunction with such speed that your enemy can't counter you, right? They're just overwhelmed. Their archers are panicking. These guys are trying to shoot, right? Had I faded back and gone the other way and tried to reform our troops, you would actually suffer more casualties. I know that's counterintuitive, but if you run, if you pull back in this situation in the face of 250, 300 archers, and I got to be careful here. I'm pretty low on health. If you pull back in this situation, you might lose the battle. You might all of a sudden start getting shot to pieces. They get their infantry out in front, and they start gaining momentum in this battle. We're taking the momentum. We're ripping arms off. We're going to come through here just aggressive style, a silverback gorilla fucking taking what's his. And we're going to destroy the enemy and their morale at the same time. But that's the other component of it. There's a morale system in the game. If the enemy starts to gain morale, they won't run. Right? You don't need to fight the entire 4,000 enemies. Just lay waste to their fucking army in an aggressive manner. right? It's sort of this continuous thing where every death literally damages the morale for the enemy. And of course, every time they successfully start killing you, their morale goes up. Look at that huge body of troops. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to pull the 6th and 8th Corps around here to the flank. This rock is kind of in the way of my plans. But we're going to flank that fucking group, get our claws on these archers, and it's just going to be body parts flying through the air. Yeah, just wading in there, right? Once you're good with a quick two-handed axe or sword, archers are, well, they're made to be killed. These guys are just standing around, so I'm gonna have to pull them with and then physically shove them through. What I mean by shoving them through is take the unit selector and push them way through into the heart of the enemy. So I'm dragging them around to the right flank. I see they just got a huge another load of reserves. See how I'm physically sending them in there? That's the 4th, that's the 5th. In these guys go. And you'll have casualties, but these archers, they can't shoot now. They've got fucking troops right in their face. They're pulling out their little tiny fucking mace, their little tiny pathetic club, and you just carve them to pieces. Look at them just with their backs to me. Very poor decision. I'm down to a sliver, but I've definitely got to be careful here. Although at this stage the battle is won. I do have a mod that increases character death, both hero death and character death. So I'm going to hide behind my shield. I'm going to order in my elite units to push right through these archers, and then once they're in there, I'll join them. There'll be casualties, right? I might even be a casualty myself here if I get hit by an unlucky blow. But we're wading in. This is the berserker mentality, right? You go down fucking swinging. Look at their morale fading. They're trying to reform, and they're just getting blown up. These guys are trying to run. Unfortunately, they are now turning their lives into widows. They should have stayed in the field, pal. I think that's it. I'm going to do some reforming of the formations here, but they look like they're out of here. They've had enough. And again, that last drive there just mangled their morale. One last guy didn't make it. You never want to be the last guy who dies in the battle. Not a good thing. Not a good. Well, that was one of the more satisfying battles I've had in a long time. Hopefully you learned a few things from that. Please subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you like huge battles like this, we're going to continue to show tactics. I'm happy to share tactics with you. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you fellas next time.
Okay, you have some skill.